Oklahoma announced the return of starting quarterback John Mateer to the program to lead the program in 2026. Let's talk about whether or not this is a good thing or not for Oklahoma and what implications, if any, there are for the 2026 college football playoff, let alone the SEC schedule. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year-round. If you're into that, hit that subscribe button, like this video, answer the question in the comments below. Do you think John Mateer returning to Oklahoma is a good thing for the Sooners? I've got some thoughts on this, and I've got some thoughts about what this can mean for the SEC, what this means for the SEC in 2026, as it looks well and truly like the Big Ten has become the dominant conference in college football, and the SEC's reign of terror has come to an end. But that is, for some, still contingent on the outcome of the national championship game, which is why I want to turn your attention to our sponsor for this month. That is SeatGeek, who is prepared to give you 10% off of your purchases using the app. All you got to do is go into the link in the description below. You click the link, you download it. That 10% will already upload, and you can use that across any of the events that you would like to when using SeatGeek to try to find a concert ticket, or even, shall we say, national championship tickets for this Monday, Indiana versus Miami. Now, for me, I'm looking at Zach Bryan tickets going to be here in Tulsa, right? Concert's going to be here in Tulsa, and you can still get on the floor for $283. According to the app, which is great because it is one hell of a deal when you take into account how much it is going to cost you to get in to see Miami play Indiana at Hard Rock. Tickets range from, I kid you not, $2,963 to $16,280. That makes 10% off feel real good now, doesn't it? Because if you could save $1,600 on a $16,000 ticket, hey, let me help you. Use the code ADAPT10 for 10% off of your tickets on SeatGeek for college football or any of the other events on it. I used it earlier, or I should say last year, November, when Billie Eilish came to Tulsa. I sent a mom and two daughters to go see him. First time they'd ever seen Billie Eilish in concert, and it was a cool way for RJ to be RJ. So now that we have talked about how you can get in to see the national championship, let's talk about whether or not Oklahoma can actually play in the damn thing come 2026. And I don't feel good about the chances, dog. I don't feel good about chances. Now, on the one hand, there's going to be some Sooners that watch this show that be like, yo, RJ ain't got nothing good to say about Oklahoma. First of all, you're wrong. Second of all, I'm always hardest on my team. I've always been hardest on my team because it's my team. It's my team. Okay? It's my team. And every time somebody want to come through or fall through, talk about RJ likes Ohio State, or RJ likes Indiana, or RJ likes, I don't know, pick one of these NHL teams I don't watch, right? I always look at y'all like y'all crazy because I ain't won no national championship since 2000. And some of y'all don't let me forget that. Even Texas fans be like, we won one in 2005. Yeah, all right. And then you get smoked by A&M. Then you get smoked by 3-9 Florida. Okay? Like, so what? You know what I'm saying? But in as far as the Sooners are concerned, is John Mateer returning to Oklahoma a good thing for the Sooners? On the one hand, it absolutely is. There's continuity at the position. First time that Oklahoma's had a back-to-back starter that has, well, I should say, could have a back-to-back starter that finishes the season, back-to-back seasons. You got to go back to Spencer Rattler. I mean, think about it this way. Had Spencer, Caleb Williams, right? Then you had Dylan Gabriel for a little bit, right? And then everybody got to feel what the Davis Bevel experience was like, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. Then Dylan Gabriel, and then Jackson Arnold, Michael Hawkins, and that experience wasn't fun. Then John Mateer this season, and it got started to a pretty damn good start, right? Oklahoma out the gate. You get the wins against a top-ranked Michigan, top-ranked Auburn at the time. Oklahoma's feeling real good about its opportunity to make the college football playoff, and it should, because when you at how the schedule stacked up. It's one of the toughest schedules in all of college football. So the thought was you get to 10 games, 10 wins in that, you're going to make the playoff. And that's exactly what happened. Problem is, as that happened, John Mateer broke his hand, had surgery, fixed his hand, came back. And as much as people want to blame the hand, I really think it's just SEC defenses showed that man who he is. Because while there are lots of folks that are calling him Baker Mayfield before he got to Oklahoma, and there was some of that in the first 3 games, he was spinning it, Heisman Trophy caliber type stuff. That's where he can go. That's where he can take you. My knock against him with Wazoo was that he ain't done this against Power 4 competition. That's basically what Oklahoma is going to test itself against week in and week out. There's the FCS team on the schedule, sure. But the meat and potatoes is Bama, Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, Texas. You know what I'm saying? Right? South Carolina can jump up and bite you. You can get got by Mississippi State. You can get got by Vandy. You know what I'm saying? But this year, you take a look at the schedule, UTEP off the rip, at Michigan, with Kyle Whittingham in charge at a time we thought it was going to be Sharon Moore, year 2 of Bryce Underwood. That ain't going to be no easy win, right? Jay Hill calling the defense and Jason Beck calling the offense. Again, that ain't going to be no easy win. Going up there is going to be difficult. Both those teams will be nationally ranked. New Mexico, and then at Georgia. Only team to beat Georgia at Georgia in the last 6 years is Bama last year with Ty Simpson. Same Ty Simpson that stormed Alabama all the way back from 7 points down, put a pop knock on Oklahoma's head, and on the way out, took the 55-gallon drum of whoop ass and poured it all on us at home, biting roses. Then you get off, and then it's Texas. Then it's Kentucky. Will Stein's Kentucky. That ain't Mark Stoops' Kentucky. And Will Stein is a great play caller, offensive coordinator. Standing on the table for this man to get an SEC job. Standing on the table for this man to get a Power 4 job, just like it was Marcus Freeman. I expect him to have the same kind of success. Then it's at Mississippi State for the Jeff Lebby experience. South Carolina at Florida, Ole Miss, A&M at Missouri. Is it an easy schedule? No. Is it manageable? Absolutely. It's absolutely manageable because when you're looking at this thing, there's no LSU on it. There's no Bama on it, right? You keep going down the line on this one. Yeah, you got to play Texas and A&M, but Florida is going to be in year 1 with Sumrall, right? South Carolina, if they continue to go with the Lenore Sellers experience, and they're gettable. Y'all see an athlete over there that can spin it. I understand that part. I'm not there. I'm not there on the Lenore Sellers experience. I'm just not there. And Ole Miss ain't going to be Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss. It's going to be Pete Golden's Ole Miss. And that is if the NCAA lets Trinidad Chambliss play football this year. So it's open. On the flip side, I've seen what John Mateer is capable of. And the boy isn't accurate with his passes. He still plays quarterback like a high school shortstop. And his ability to process that thing in the pocket is nowhere. If he's not rolling to one side or the other or able to run around, it's just not going to happen. If I need that man to read the coverage, go through 1, 2, 3, and then maybe back to 1 or get to 4, I don't see him doing that. I sincerely don't. And as much as some people want to cape about Parker Livingston, that ain't going to be your man's. I'm not going to jump out my seat for another white receiver in the slot. Just not going to do that. From Drake Stoops to Gavin Freeman to now Parker Livingston, I'm just not going to do that, right? I need somebody that can yoke. Play the X. Play the X and beat the hell out of that number 1 corner. Make that man wish that he was guarding anybody else. You know the kind of dude they got over there, Jeremiah Smith, right, at Ohio State. That's what I want over there. And even if you had it, can John Mateer get it to him? Or is the dude going to get tricked by the coverage and throw a pick 6? That's where I'm at with that experience. So him coming back, sure. I would like it better than most things, but that wasn't really a thing that was being offered up, was perhaps going to get a better quarterback. And quite frankly, who would you go get, right? Sam Leavitt? Maybe. Ty Simpson? Maybe. But no, you want a dude that knows Ben Arbuckle's offense. And you know what? Frankly, get Ben Arbuckle to be more creative with his play calling. I realize you got your bucket of plays that you like to go to, but when they're not working, I need you to call something that nobody's seen yet and that you can execute. Okay? Because if you're running what you run well and it ain't working, that's on coaching. That ain't on John Mateer.